Alright, so made it to the boat night before last. Never even pulled out the camera yesterday. It rained and rained and rained. We had an hour break around noon. I took the dogs for a long walk and then came back here and had about another hour and a half or two of hard rain. It was kind of cold, but the sun came out and it cleared up, and so I was able to go through and really clean the boat. You know, we get this algae that grows on everything. Here, you guys stay here. You don't really see it on my boat right now because I scrubbed it all off. But if you don't clean your boat regularly, you don't paint it, you know, which I'm sure that some of the paints that they put out today probably try to dissuade this stuff from growing on your boat. But if you don't do anything about it for a lengthy period of time, you don't take care of it, you end up with this. This is like moss growing on the boat. It's everywhere. Look at how thick that stuff is right there. You know, and so every time I come out here to the boat, it's not just the barnacles and algae growing on the bottom of the boat, which, believe me, those do get pretty bad. Let's see if you guys can see on the bottom of this. You gotta get the light just right, but there you go. See all that stuff growing there? That's barnacles and mussels and sponges. There's probably a lot of little crabs and stuff growing on that. It's pretty amazing the amount of wildlife that'll start to grow on the bottom of your boat. So every time I come out here, I spend a few hours just you know, scrubbing the moss and algae off the top of the boat. But then I also go through and scrape it all off the bottom of the boat. And, I mean, it's not the greatest. You can still see that there's some green growing on there. At the bow, you can still see there's a little bit of stuff on there. The problem that I have, typically, it's the worst. And this finger gets pretty rocking. I can't reach my rudder. It's too far towards the rear end, and so I can kind of scrape the top of it, but I can't really get down into it. And it goes, it's down in there, I'm going to say 2.5, 3 feet. So you can even see it on this rope, a little bit of our line, a little bit of algae growing in it. I flipped it over, so it's probably a lot more of it on there, but you can't see. So I went through and I, you know, like I do every trip out here, I scrape all that stuff, clean it up, scrub off all of it I can get underneath, clean the top. I have some soap, bio soap from the store that is intended for cleaning boats. You know, it's bio in some way. It's not toxic to the environment. You can scrub your boat and rinse it off, and it doesn't kill the wildlife when it gets into the water. So, because it's not like you can pull your boat out and take it to the car wash, you know. I need a semi and a trailer. None of these people own a trailer, or at least most of these people don't own a trailer. So after I finished that, it rained a little more, which rinsed us off a little extra, and I went inside and kind of went through some of the cabinets and made myself some dinner, and talked to Sean on the phone. That woman is just amazing to me. I really hope that nothing ever goes wrong with us, because I'll tell you, it is absolutely awesome having her in my life again. So, and she's really into the whole boat, you know. So anyway, we're gonna run to the Home Depot, get a padlock for the dock box today, and try to get some of the stuff out of the interior of the boat that we don't need in there. I should pull out my iPad and check the tidal, you know, area, because there's a nice little beach way over there, and the dogs really like going out on that. If the tide's on the way out, I'll wait until it's a little lower. If the tide's on the way in, which I think it is, then I'll have to wait until this evening. The tide is not basically helping me with that part this time. So anyway, having my coffee. It's only like 8:15 here. I'm of course used to Colorado time, and it's 9:30 there. I don't really want to get on to California time too much. Yeah, I'm not going to stay here very long. I'm going to try to get the you know, this padlock today, try to clean out the interior of the boat today. I did a little bit of cleaning inside, like I said, in the kitchen, and you know, but largely because I was trying to work so hard outside, I didn't really, I probably made more mess inside than I cleaned. And then I've got to get I'm going to bring the dinghy down and leave it here on the boat this trip. I don't want to take it back to Colorado. It's taking up a lot of space in the backyard, and I'm not going to need it for the, you know, sorry, my back's been kind of bugging me, so I'm trying to stretch. I don't really need it in Colorado until next summer, and Sean and I are going to come out in March, so end of March. So I'll, you know, leave it here and take it back to Colorado at the end of the winter, and we'll have it out here for the March trip, and we'll take it back to Colorado to cruise around in the reservoirs up there next summer. But it's a huge lunk of weight in the, you know, in the truck, and it's a huge lunk of weight in the back, or a huge lunk of stuff in the backyard that I don't know what to deal with. So I'm just going to leave it here, and it won't weigh anything on the truck on the way back, which might help reduce my fuel usage on the way home. So I just noticed the screws holding this piece of wood on are, you know, the wood's so worn down that the screws are standoffs at this point. So I told Sean the last of my horrible things that I have to tell her. You know, I mean, it's not like she knows every single detail of my life. I'm sure we'll find things that she doesn't know about me over the long term. But the thing that I was the most freaked out about telling her, she took it with a grain of salt. She didn't really seem to be bugged by it. And so I am a lucky man. Yep, I have a girl that loves me, and my flaws don't bother her, and my issues don't bother her, and I did not expect that. And so I'm a very happy guy, and that makes it even worse to be in the boat without her. I want to get back to Colorado. real bad. So that's pretty much the plan. I'm gonna bust it out today, get as much done as I can. I want the boat to look nice and be as, you know, cleanly and in good shape as possible, so when she comes out next time she is impressed with it. I don't want her to be, come out and think that I own a lemon boat, because this is one seriously hefty boat. It needs a little bit of work, little bits of work. There's some serious crazing in areas and stuff like that, but this is a solid boat, and it's a good fast boat, and it's plenty adequate, and it'll be worth a lot more money. It'd be a good boat flip over the long term. So that's kind of where we're at. She really loves the idea of the whole sailing, so that's awesome too. Like I said, I am one lucky man. But I wanted to get a video in for you. Let you see the marina here. Actually, it was over by the winery. Bathrooms like right over there. I went over there last night, and there were 3 teenagers in a car actually smoking a bong. That yellow building, that huge yellow building right there, is a police station. So like 50 feet away from the police station, there's a couple of kids over there smoking out of a bong in their car. Could not believe it. Just amazing. But there's San Francisco. You can kind of see the Golden Gate over there. You can see at least one of the piers. Well, you can see both of them if you look over that semi truck over there. You can see the top of one of the uprights. And honey, there's those palm trees you're asking about. Look at that. That's interesting. That was that guy's bilge pump. Guy's bilge pump just fired up and drained a bunch of water out of the side of the boat. It didn't come out of the back of the boat, it came out of the side of the boat, and it came out with pressure. It looks like it's been spraying onto that for quite some time. Anyway, that's pretty much where we are. I am going to get to work, get as much done as I can today. I'd really like to take these winches off, these variant 28s and 26s. They're going to be replaced with the Lumar 55s that I bought, and so basically I want to get these off so I could clean them up and sell them, and maybe use the money towards buying a 4th self-tailing Lumar 55. And then inside on the wall over there, there's a propane heater. You can see it over there. That here, we'll go down in here. I don't like the idea of the propane heater. This stove is propane, but we can turn off the gas to it outside, and so we don't fill up the boat with propane. But this heater, this Force 10 cozy cabin heater, is going to end up for sale. It's actually in very good shape. It works fine. It's got its regulator down here. It's not a very long hose, and a valve. The exhaust pipe here is not properly installed. There's no through hole or through deck, no deck fitting for it, and so if you were to actually fire it up, it would burn a hole through the deck where the pipe got super hot. And like I said, I don't really want that to go out and then basically fill the cabin with propane while you're sleeping. So it's kind of a useless heater when you're looking at sleeping in the boat with it on. It would potentially could kill you by filling up the boat with propane, especially if you hooked it up to a big enough tank of propane, which is the plan. Put a tank on the outside, and when we want to cook, we'll go out and turn on the tank and use it to cook, but we'll turn it off as soon as we're done, and then you're, problem solved. Heater, not the same deal. So I want to replace that heater with a diesel heater, and well, right now it will only hold 10 gallons of diesel fuel. I intend to get a couple of bladders and repair that issue so that we can have more diesel fuel more diesel fuel in the boat for long trips.